Hello everybody! We are back in this game. It's Old Dominion against Army at Army, and look at this. Their top players are Bacon and Maples. I like Bacon, I like maple syrup, but we want to stop them in this game. Army has the 4th ranked rushing offense in the country, and they're looking to get their 6th win, which would make them bowl eligible. Can they get it at home with that tough triple option offense? We'll see if Old Dominion can hold them down in this one. Coming up. It's a beautiful day for football in the state of New York, home here of the Army Black Knights, kicking off to Reggie Owens, who has taken the kick returning duties for the injured Colby Goodwin, and Owens takes this one for 47 yards in great field position for Old Dominion to start this game, as they're looking to pick up their 3rd win in a row. It's been a great past couple of weeks for them. They played some great defense, great offense, and Tyree Lee just 19 yards away from 1,000 yards on the season. He would be Old Dominion's first 1,000-yard rusher in school history. And Blair Roberts a 13-yard reception as he continues to add to his numbers on the year. But Lee is having a record-breaking season so far, already the single-season rushing record yardage-wise for Old Dominion. He continues to add to that. And here on the play action, Antonio Vaughn, a little curl route in the end zone, and it is a touchdown. He makes the leaping grab to give Old Dominion the early 7-0 lead, not even 2 minutes into the game, and Old Dominion is on the board. And they've been playing very well lately, though you could argue the defenses they've been playing against and the offenses have not been of that high quality, at least compared to some of the teams they played earlier this year. Speaking of teams they played earlier this year, A.J. Sure is looking a lot like a certain Navy quarterback we played against. Navy runs a very similar offense, and Army, both triple option teams, so very similar styles, and Old Dominion hoping to force Army to get into some passing situations because it's not what they do normally. But A.J. Sure, the quarterback, very dangerous with his legs, and he looks to launch this one deep and almost intercepted by the safety there. Old Dominion continuing to play very well. They would hold Army to 4th and 13, and apparently this is too long for a field goal, so they go for it, and it's just a terrible play call here. They're not good when it comes to long yardage situations for a first down. So Old Dominion's next drive, Heineke rolling out, nobody open apparently, and instead of throwing this one away, he just gets sacked, so that ends the drive quickly. And 1st and 10 now for Sure and the Army offense, and he's going to give it off to Turntine on this one, and it is going to be a big gain of 23 yards. They continue to pound Old Dominion with that option attack. Sure on the next play, 1st and 10, he gets it. He gets all kind of holes from his offensive line, and he's finally brought down, but not before he scores. And he's a dangerous quarterback that Old Dominion really needs to be careful of, because they got burned the last time they played a very similar offense against Navy. But Tyree Lee gets the handoff, and he cuts this one off to the left side with some great blocking. Does he have enough gas to outrun the defender? He can't. 63 yards, and he crosses the 1,000-yard mark on the season, becoming Old Dominion's first ever 1,000-yard rusher and continuing to add to that record-breaking total. And this one trying to force it into Blair Roberts in the end zone. The defender is just there a second early. Roberts, if he had just been there, or if the throw had been a little bit more on target, it would not have been picked off, but Army's going to try and take advantage of that interception this way later in the drive. 1st and 10 now at the start of the second quarter. It's 2nd and 6 for the Army offense, and Sure's going to fake the handoff on the option. He gets blown up, though, before he can even think. He doesn't even have any time on that play. So 3rd and 7, they're going to do a little handoff here to Maples, and he is going to get the first down. 8 yards on that one. So 2nd and goal. Sure, running a little option. Pitches it, I should say, to Raymond Maples for 3 yards. 3rd and goal. Can the defense hold Army? Back to pass, sure, looking. He's going to get sacked, drilled from behind, and he fumbles it. He got hit so hard. Picked up by his lineman, so it will be an Army field goal to take a 10-7 lead here midway through the second quarter. 2nd and 6, and Heineke is back to pass, trying to find somebody. He's going to fit this one into Antonio Vaughn. A tight window he had as coverage was hanging all over Vaughn on that play. Heineke rolling out, forced out of the pocket, and dumps it off to Connor Martin, but Army could not wait to blow that play up. So it would be a punt for Old Dominion on their own 20. Now A.J. Sure leading the Army offense, and he's going to be stopped for a loss of 1. The Old Dominion defense does seem a little more prepared for the option in this game from what they played earlier in the season. Sure, back to pass, he throws it in the flats, and it's Larry Alston, the linebacker, is going to take it untouched to the house for the touchdown. Alston's first defensive touchdown on the season, and a great play to give Old Dominion the lead into the first half of play. It's 14-10 at halftime. I've been losing my words today for some reason. I haven't been able to talk, so I apologize for the garbage commentary. But we will look at some recruiting here at halftime, changing things up just a little bit. And we can look at David Dixon. I told you I can't talk today. 5-star halfback. He's looking very, very good to commit to our team. And look at that, 84 elusiveness, 95 return. And with the speed and acceleration ratings, he's very promising. We'll also look at Travis Gonzalez, who's committed to us and will add some speed and depth to the defensive backfield, and hopefully he is the future of our defensive backfield along with Marcus Massey and Matt Williams. And there are some scores from around the country if you want to check those out. Just a few games of note. Central Michigan beats Western Michigan in a little rivalry, and West Virginia destroys Kansas 44-20 in a Big 12 battle. So there you go. Pause that if you want to get more information on those games. 1st and 10 now. We'll look at the second half, and Army has to score a touchdown if they want to get that lead back. Field goal doesn't do much good, but hey, I guess they'd take any scores at this point, and A.J. Sure is blown up by the Old Dominion defense again. They were swarming all over that play. So 3rd and 8, exactly the situation you want to get Army into because they're not a passing team, at least not normally, not when you expect it. 4th and 3. They would punt it away, but Old Dominion would get stopped on a 3-and-out. In this play, it's fumbled on the option, and look at this, it's T.J. Ricks. He's going to take it for Old Dominion's 2nd defensive touchdown on the day. And outside linebacker T.J. Ricks gets in on the action. Not a name you guys have heard very much this season. He hasn't made too many plays. He's been kind of quiet, but in this sense, he picks the fumble up and takes it to the house. 21-10, 2 of those touchdowns have been defensive touchdowns for Old Dominion. It's been a great past couple of weeks for the defense as they played very well and have really tightened up their screws, if you will, since switching to the multiple defense playbook instead of the 3-4. So it seems your guys' advice has done me very well, and A.J. Sure is shacked on the play. I can't talk again. I'm just going to roll with it because that's what I do. So Old Dominion's next drive would again stall. Not much going on offensively. So 3rd and 8, Sure back to pass, and he is hit so hard he fumbles it again. He's lucky his linemen are there to pick those fumbles up, but that would end that drive quickly. So Old Dominion now looking to kind of run some clock here. Take the possession as long as they can. C.J. Bradshaw getting some action, backup halfback. And now 2nd and 3, Tyree Lee out of the Wildcat. He's going to get the first down after 5 yards. Adding to his totals, as yes, he has crossed 1,000 yards. He's encroaching on 1,100 yards after this game's performance. But this one will be a bad throw by Taylor Heineke, intercepted. It would be a penalty, but it would be after the interception. It was holding against Army, but because it was after the interception, it will be their ball still. They will get it on their own 10. Old Dominion's 2nd turnover on the day, unfortunately, but Army still has a lot of work to do. They're down by 2 scores, and A.J. Sure is going to take this one. A little shifty, the dude is. He's shifty all over the place. His longest run of the day, 28 yards, and he's hard to stop. But the very next play, the defense is all over it. And Army got to be a little bit less predictable sometimes. Back to pass. Sure is going to throw this one. It's a jump ball, and Lawrence snags that one out of the air. It looked like the defender could have had a chance at picking that one off or at least breaking it up. But Lawrence is the winner of this one. A jump ball between the two number 21s. So there you go. 3rd and 13. Army held to a 3rd and 13 by the Old Dominion defense. Sure is back to throw, and this time it's Eric Lewis in the flat. Another interception for the defense, and Sure has not had much luck throwing into the flats today. So that would end that drive for Army, and now Old Dominion is just killing clock. They've put in the backups now, getting some reps for those guys. The toss play to Bradshaw is going to end this one effectively, as Army would utilize their last timeout. 3rd and 3. We're going to get a look at another running back, Janelle Anderson. He's deep on the depth chart. He doesn't see much time, at least not yet, but he would get a carry there, so you guys can check that out. And that's the game. Old Dominion gets their 3rd win in a row. 21-10 over Army. Some key stats. Tyree Lee had 15 rushes for 133 yards. Taylor Heineke would only go 7 of 13, 68 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. His counterpart, A.J. Sure, was 5 of 8 for 46 yards and 2 interceptions, but he would have 25 rushes for 84 yards and a touchdown, including 3 runs of 20 or more yards. So 3 of his carries accounted for the majority of his yards, and there you can check out those team stats. Pretty equal for the most part. Army had 13 first downs, though, and they're the players of the game. So 3 wins in a row for Old Dominion. They're looking to close out the season on a high note, but we'll look at Josh Silva. He's not a quarterback, but he committed to our team. He's actually an athlete, but the game, for some reason, lists him as a quarterback. But he committed to our team, so that's good. Braxton Miller still leading the Heisman race with Keith Price. Right up behind him, DJ Morgan, Taj Boyd, and Vlad Lee, all wanting a piece of the hardware. So we'll see how that goes as we're closing out the season. 1 more game to go, and it will be the end of the season. That last game is at North Carolina. It will be a tough game. North Carolina is 5-5. They're a very tough ACC team, and especially at home, it will be hard to beat them. So we'll see if we can keep this winning streak up, or will our season end on a bad note. You guys will have to find out next time. I will